Hello, Freedman here with another video, an update really about this Trans Am that I got sitting here in my garage. Basically, I got an idea for a new series to do kind of a low buck rebuild on this car. 403 blew up, but I finally got a Pontiac 400 to put in it. So basically, the big things that I'm going to be showing how to do, or just showing off what I'm doing, is putting the motor in, putting the new transmission in. I got to do the shocks in the back because it's air shock. They're got air shocks in it, and they're worn out real bad. Probably doing a little bit of front suspension work because these bushings are a little worn. And then got to put new seats in it and do some work with the tail panel back there. It's starting to get rusted out. Had to grab a light to show this off. Basically, the tail panel's a little bit rusty right here. Let me get an implement to point at stuff. So we got a hole here. Well, probably gonna cut that out, patch it, patch this one. This right here is, yeah, it's crusty too, so this hole, probably get away with cutting and patching that one too. This one needs it. The inside isn't rusty, it's just the outside, which is good, so we don't have to replace the whole tail panel. Now saying that, I think the inside, yeah, it's pretty crusty right here. Luckily, it's not in the frame. If it was in the frame, we'd have problems. But the frame's still solid. It's this tail panel right here, and you can see there's a sizable hole right there. And coming around, yeah, the frame is still in good shape. It's still very much thick. That was a problem. These will rust out, and the leaf springs will go right through the trunk. But there's a big spot right here. We'll have to probably fabricate a new piece that comes across here. This one's pretty. The way this is bent like this, I wonder if this car's ever been rear-ended at some point. See, let's see the way it's bent. It's kind of strange. Anyway, other than that, up inside of it's good. The fenders are perfect, or the rear quarter panels and all that stuff is real good. But just this corner where it's leaked down through the trunk, because the trunk corners, I fixed the leak in them. I didn't have to weld anything. I POR 15'd it, so we'll see how long that lasts. But I doubt it's going to go out in the rain again. But looking up the corner on this side, where the frame rail is, it's good too. It's better than the other one. But other than that, get this fixed and POR 15 it. I've definitely seen worse ones. This one's definitely a good candidate to basically you just take the bumper off and fix it that way. But I'll show you the fenders on it are in really good shape. I don't think they've been. I doubt that they've been touched. It's definitely a fairly rust-free car aside from there, but if you look down at them, they've been undercoated, but they've never been replaced. And I've poked around with them and gone in with a magnet, and they're all sheet metal. So it's the same on the other side. You can take my word for it, because my light won't reach over there. And like I was saying, the trunk corners down under rust out real bad on these too. Other than that, heck, the rocker panels are still good. There aren't. I don't think I can get my light over here, but none of these are. His paint peeling off of it, but none of them are rusted out. And these rust out real bad, especially down under here. So, but yeah. Other than that, it's definitely a pretty solid car. Just that little bit of rust in the back is gonna be a little bit of a pain to fix. So far I've done the undercoat. Got some POR 15 and then I coated it with enamel spray paint, basically. And it seems to be holding up pretty good. It's real bumpy on the finish. I'm not a big fan of that, but you probably won't see too much of it on that cross member and on the frame when the motor's in it. But I probably should have taken a grinder or something and got it down a little bit further. It's mostly the POR 15 goes on so thick that it kind of leaves behind this. It's like scaling on it. It's not grease or anything. I definitely degreased it, but it just kind of leaves that behind. So we'll see about it. The other thing I got to do, body work, is I didn't like how the previous owner put new floor pans in it. So I'll be cutting those out and doing. I don't even think I took the carpet up when I was working on it when I first got it, and it looks like just sheet metal he put down for the floor pan repair. So I'll be getting some actual floor pans and cutting those to put in. Here's what I got for transmission. It's the I think it's the cheapest model, TCI TH350. So I heard some good things and some bad things about it. So if it blows up on me, you'll hear about it. So, and for a torque converter, I've got a B&M torque converter, and I think it's a 2300 stall. I'll have to look at it again, but I'm not 100% sure. But I know it's in the 2000s in the stall. Here's my Pontiac 400 that's going in the car. It's hopped up a little bit. The builder said it'd make anywhere between 380 horsepower to 400, depending on what headers and stuff like that. But it's got a Elbrock intake on it, and I don't think these are much better, other than that they're lighter. I think the stock Pontiac ones flowed pretty good, so I doubt it's going to be that much of a help. But anyway, I got some for the front accessories. I'll show them off when I go to put them on. But it's this real this bracket that fits like right here. You see your power steering's there, and it's got these. So I'm gonna find it. Oh, actually, here it is. It's got these that are used for the adjusters on your alternator and power steering, and here's a big bracket for the power steering. So I'm hoping that'll work pretty good. Some people said that they don't work with the Trans Ams, that they're more for the GTOs because they get in the way of the steering box, but we'll see when we go to put it on there. Some more details about this Pontiac 400. It's got forged pistons. I don't think it has the forged crank or connecting rods, but it's got forged pistons. It's got a mild cam, ARP bolts all over it. So it should be a pretty nice little motor. So lastly, we got the old 403 that I pulled out of it, and the TH350 is down there. This one, it's junk. That transmission is. It had coolant in the transmission fluid, and it shifted fine, but it's worn out real bad due to that. Because what happens is that the water and the coolant will start to break down the clutches in the transmission. It's no good. But the motor, it ran pretty good. Only problem with it is it had a little bit of blow by. It didn't have a PCV valve in it, so it was either blow by or just it definitely had some blow by. But it ran decent. The only reason I pull it was because we found metal in the oil when I was changing the oil on it, and I got a bunch of footage from a while ago where I took it apart to check it out, and it was pretty bad. I've got this up for sale, so if anyone wants this, it should be a perfectly rebuildable 403 if anyone really wants one. But if you would like to make an offer on it, feel free to contact me.